It's weird work. It's just stressful work, but it's like,
You're
I don't
not
know.
doing
You've done
anything
something
physically.
Yeah,
but
you've done something, but you didn't actually do any. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's so
nothing
fucking
helpful
weird.
to the actual.
But it's still
project.
exhausting. But
Yeah.
it's still exhausting. Like, what the fuck is that? So, like, I get it. That, like, yeah, people that actually don't do anything for work, but they go to work and
Yeah,
they're tired too.
yeah, that shit is draining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you finally understand the office hours.
I've worked the office hours. What do you mean? I totally, I can commiserate with them. I know how bad it sucks. Like, cubicles suck. Fluorescent lights,
They suck
fucking
ass.
suck.
Dude, when I walk inside a hospital and I see
Being
the
micromanaged?
the people at the front desk,
And how
Like,
happy
sucks
and elated
Midge
they are.
ween.
I was like, if I had to do that for a day, I would end up with a gun in my mouth by the end of it.
Right.
Like 100%.
No, like they're like a flagger. We talked about it. Like, there's people I've seen, like, there's a
Flagging is better than sitting in a cubicle. You can at least look
Yeah.
at shit while you're flagging.
I
I've
guess.
done flagging. I can do that. It
I put it
sucks
in the
dick,
same-
nope.
It's
Yeah.
it's so arbitrary to me, and it's
That part is
so
true. Yeah.
unnecessary. I put it in the same fucking box, bro. Like,
See, but at least when you're flagging,
didn't
you're outside
accomplish
so you can
anything
rip
today.
ciggies the whole time.
Siggies.
he said, "Rip."
I got
Siggy."
fired my first day ever flagging
Wow.
in Florida when we were doing the hurricane cleanup down there.
What got
That's
you
the
fired?
story. That's the story, right? Isn't that the story? The pants, the whole fucking Mormon
Yeah.
revenge. The
Oh.
Mormon revenge plot.
Yeah. Well, I was waiting like hours next to this, like, or it had a big, like, claw, whatever that is, on the back of the semi. Whatever you call it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
But
about.
like it picks up trees and brush and shit off the side of the road, and people would have to bring all the hurricane debris out to the roads, and it was usually in wealthier neighborhoods, and we'd like drive around and pick all the piles up that people had piled with all their hurricane debris. And then I'd drive like 7 times back and forth to the dump to dump it, but that was like 12-hour days, and we worked 7 days a week.
Yeah, that was what paving was for the
Yeah.
state. It was just driving back and forth, dumping loads.
Yeah, right.
Dumping loads.
Yeah, 38 square
Like a
yards.
porn
on
star.
Mother Earth.
Yeah. But I first started off as a laborer, but
Bro,
then
that
they
last one
hired
harshed me the fuck
like a
out.
bunch of Mexicans. And,
Oh.
and so they
What do you mean, Mexicans?
like they didn't
Like
speak
people
English,
of Mexican
Mexican.
descent.
No, I'm just joking. What do you mean, you people?
But I mean, like I wasn't bummed that they hired Mexicans. I was bummed that they were doing my job, and then they moved me to sign holder, and I was just staring at them doing the job that I enjoyed doing, like picking up sticks and putting them in a pile.
Yeah.
And then
And then
Yeah,
after a
that's the
few
job.
hours of me staring at him and no cars going by, like I put the sign down and started helping him pick up sticks.
Yeah.
And then a car went by right as the crane was holding the tree over, like the dump trailer that was there, and this
the
car
only
was,
time that your
Yeah.
position was actually important at all, when you were actually needed to do anything other than fucking hold a sign,
yeah.
bro.
Which it's dude. Yeah.
Imagine if like Murphy's Law wasn't fully active in your life and you were aligned with the harmony of the universe,
Right.
and it was like conspiring on your behalf.
Yeah.
Like, imagine, bro.
Yeah,
It would be
imagine
so-
if he puts down that sign, motherfucker.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, get him to
Yeah.
rip some pants.
No.
Would that be considered a sin?
Probably.
He's like, yeah.
Flagging
I
is
will
one
tarnish
of
the
those
hem
jobs
of your garment.
that gets exponentially worse.
You better not
with the
make me
weather.
angry.
What's that?
Flagging is one of those jobs that gets exponentially worse with the weather.
Oh, I bet, man.
Like at least if you're in a cubicle, the weather never changes inside of a cubicle. But when you're flagging and it's fucking 40 degrees and pissing rain all over your everything, and that's all, and you just have to stand there getting rained on for 6 hours.
No,
You're like,
yeah.
When people have
I would
given
way
up-
rather be working.
When people have given up hope on you and they think that there's nothing else left for you except for joining the military or becoming
working
a
at the
flagger
state.
or becoming a flagger, like, bro, that has happened to me multiple times in my life, and I'm like, that doesn't make me feel very good about myself.
Here's the thing,
that
is
you
that-
think that I should go and be a sign.
So
and like, or that I should just sign my fucking life away
So
to
at
the
the
military
state, you had to
because
do
what the
more
fuck else
shit.
am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
And it's like I got a whole internal world going on inside
so
of my head.
in
right?
my
That'll
position,
give you more time to run
right?
it.
You had to have your CDL to be in my position, so
Yeah.
they were well qualified dudes. You had to know how to run equipment and know actually how to do shit. But then some of the work that they'd make you do is some of the most menial shit you've ever thought of, and so you just got these highly qualified people sitting there going, "The fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this?" And that's what flagging was for the state. So like whenever anyone was like, "Yo, you two take out the flagging truck," it was just two guys going, "Ugh, fucking kill me."
Well, you know, they say like, "Oh, what are you too proud to flip burgers?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I've already
Proud to
done that.
flip
I
burgers.
am.
I'll
I
flip my
am.
own burgers.
Yeah, and
Prejudiced
I-
against
the
it's my
burgers
burgers
restaurant.
for other people.
Yeah, unless it's my fucking restaurant, I'm
Yeah.
not or it's for my family. I'm not flipping a fucking burger.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Right.
it's not happening. Sorry. I do have pride. I do have some fucking pride
Yeah, and
some dignity.
experience.
I did get really good at lighting a cigarette in the rain, though. That
Oh.
was the only thing.
Oh, yeah,
that
against the wind too. You get like
Props,
sometimes you gotta
yeah.
unzip your jacket a little.
Oh, dude, yeah. With I had the full state issued rain gear, so I got really good at like you could hook the sign into you, so you could still like have it holding up, and then you'd be able to reach around and like.
Yeah, you
put
gave
up the
yourself a
fuck-
reach around.
Yeah.
You got to give
You
yourself
gotta
a
put
reach
the thing
around.
out, and then you just look
Sexy.
like then you just look like you're half like having a stroke and you're paralyzed, and then that's when you light the cigarette. Yeah, and then you're like, man, fucking, this is the worst.
I could never do it.
Uh,
No, I could never do it. Like I can't get
the
past-
longest time I ever had to do was 5.5 hours, and it was brutal. At hour 5, you're like, when is life gonna start again?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds awful.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't do it.
When I did high-rise window cleaning, like I would be in like the winter storms and like rainy and windy. But,
Was it
like,
fun?
In your Chacos,
Yeah.
full on in his Chacos.
Yes.
Don't get
Yeah,
it
I
twisted.
loved it. I mean, I had full rain gear.
How was it in the
Everything.
wind though? You weren't like being blown left and
Well,
right.
like OSHA rules is above 15, you can't do it.
Yeah.
But like, there's
But
always
Brand
like
Dogs-
constant wind and on those buildings in downtown Seattle, like up there.
Over 15.
Fighting a fucking flagging sign in the wind is another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd see the people in their cubicles, and like I'm out in the elements, and I'd be like, man, I'd way rather be where I'm at than where they're at.
Right.
Like it looks so boring.
Dude.
No
Yeah, there's just some shit that I can't fucking do.
Yeah.
I just can't fucking do it. Yeah, even the thought of it is just unbearable.
Right.
Fucking unbearable. Like we talked about doing a few things and you're like, "No. I'd
Yeah.
rather not." So, like, and I get it.
would rather die.
Yeah, for real.
Done
So,
it too many times. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's definitely doing that state job taught me like something like weirdly, just like fucking driving and going like doesn't bother me a whole lot. And like it, you know, at that point it was just like I would spend all day thinking of shit and like I could talk into my
Right.
fucking phone and take notes and shit. And then I'd come home with a bunch of ideas
Nice.
to do shit with. That wasn't that bad because when you're in a dump truck and you're alone, like you've got the radio to talk to other people if you want to, but I just stayed in my own fucking world and we were doing, 10-hour days, 12-hour days, and all I'm doing is driving a dump truck back and forth and back and forth, and
Right.
back and forth. And so then
you're a fucking NPC, bro.
yeah.
That sounds like some NPC shit.
Yeah, no,
honestly.
it feels like it. And
Bro.
then if you add lo-fi
monotony.
if you add lo-fi on top of it, you just feel like you're in The Sims.
But you were like an
I'm a Sims
NPC of
character.
an NPC. You weren't giving out quests. You were taking quests from other NPCs.
Yeah, it really is. And like you're slowly, shittily paving a road, and you're like, oh hell yeah.
Fuck yeah,
And then
this is
you-
the job I want
And
to
then
work.
you drive over that
Hell
road
yeah.
later because it's still the same road in your section, and then you drive over it, and it's super bumpy and shitty because the state doesn't have enough money to actually get good paving equipment. So all the patches you do are just fucking garbage and bumpy, but it keeps the road from fully falling out. So you're like, yeah, fuck it, throw a Band-Aid on it. And so all you can ever do is like fuck yourself over more. Like after you get done freshly paving, they're like, yes, go up to Packwood real quick. You're like, man, we just paved that one. It's shit. The road is awful.
You're a
There's
car guy.
No rest for the wicked.
You're a car guy.
Yes,
right?
sir.
You know what the Autobahn is? Yeah, you're familiar?
Yes.
With the
Autobahn.
Autobahn. So it's
in
like
Germany, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like the main fucking highway or whatever.
How many
And,
lanes? Like 15?
I'm not sure, but
A lot.
the lengths that they go to repair it, like I watched this video, it's fucking insane. They literally like close off the lane for like a mile in each way. They fucking cut out.
If
a
you ever
whole
want to
section.
lose hope in society,
Yeah.
watch the state pave. And you'll watch 15
and then you'll
dudes.
understand why socialism is good. Like that, you'll understand because infrastructure, like this way here, it's set up for people to contract out to make the most money as possible. It's not set out to fucking
Make the best quality product.
So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
the government is doing like
Profit
the shit
over
that the
quality.
government contracts out, like that subcontract labor is actually pretty fucking good, like because they're getting paid well. But the actual government workers, no one there gives a fuck. Half the people in their brain are just calculating how much leave they're getting by standing there. They're like, when can I leave? And then the moment you get it, because the way the government's set up is like, you know how normally you have to ask your boss, like, can I take leave? You just put it in a system and it auto approves you for leave. So, and you'd get stupid amounts of fucking leave and sick time
Nice.
and shit.
Yeah.
So like half of the state was them just stocking enough people so that if half the other people went on leave, there would still be people there to pick up the roadkill.
Wow.
That was what. Yeah, and so paving at the state is just like a bunch of people standing around waiting for dump trucks. And then when a dump truck shows up, everyone goes to work and like hits it with some rakes and some compactors. And it's, again, still shitty because no one actually really knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like I was never taught how to pave.
Right.
They just told me to drive the fucking dump truck. Like that was my one, like that's how I got hired. They're like, you know how to drive this thing? I was like, yeah, that's why I got the license. And they were like, shit.
They're like, fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're like, and you can do heavy equipment stuff. I was like, oh, yeah, that's why I have
and that's
these
why you
other
had your forklift
certificates.
license, right?
Well, I never got a license.
No, I'm joking.
Honestly, if
Like-
I had to work that job for more than like a year, I'd find the nearest blunt object and just like
Oh, and,
dig it
well,
straight into my
and
skull.
they made me stop smoking weed because of this fucking CDL. And so I was just, dude, I
awful.
smoked so many cigarettes. That was all I was doing.
It's like,
was
oh, you're
smoking cigarettes, coming home, drinking because I
Yeah,
couldn't
fucking
smoke
drug.
weed.
Right.
And
you
then-
thought your life was bad?
Oh.
We can make it worse.
It was and like it was the job that I went out, I got my fucking CDL, I did all the things I thought I was supposed to do to like become a better person and get
Yeah,
up
be
in
a
the
real
world.
boy.
And then I just made myself fucking miserable and trapped myself into a dead end go fucking nowhere job. Which I will say it's not necessarily a go nowhere job because if you do your time at the state and you stick with it, eventually you'll just get to a certain point of like you can make six figures at the state. You can. It's
Yeah,
possible, but you
right.
just got to stay there for long enough. And
Far
sometimes
too
you just
long.
don't get chosen, especially if you're not good at taking orders. Which
Right.
surprise, surprise, not very good. At.
yeah.
Good at placing orders, but not taking
Oh,
orders.
dude.
Dude, so
I had
what
to
would you call the
babysit a
guys that, like,
bridge.
what would you call the guys that like direct traffic? Like, because I feel
They're
like
either flaggers or traffic control. Those are the two
so
names.
I feel like that job is an entirely different
Yeah,
thing
it's different.
than holding a fucking sign.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've
Look,
seen
dude,
signs.
I can
that, like,
tell you what flagging is you literally stand there and you just watch. So you stand there like, all right, traffic coming your way. It's like, all right, I received the last one. The last car on my side, traffic's coming through. It's like, last car on my side is gray Honda Accord. And you're like, copy on the gray Honda Accord. And they flip the fucking sign, and it comes through, and you're like, all right,
Bro,
Greyhound.
they hear that in their dreams.
Yeah. Oh, I.
They hear that when they go to bed. It's
Yeah.
all in the fucking walkie-talkie, boys.
Yeah. So again, I did. It was like Grey Honda. I just received Grey Honda Accord. I got 2 coming back your way. Last one is Red Ford Ranger. It's like copy on the Red Ford Ranger.
I already want to
got
shoot myself in the
Five
face.
and a half hours. 5.5 hours of that, and
But I'm
it's-
sure there's days where you just stand there and do nothing, though. Right? Like,
dude, and even then, like it got to the point where
numbing.
you would fucking hope that there was something to do. Because you just show up, and if they're like, yeah, just go on patrol. That's just you and another dude driving roads looking for trash. And if you see trash, you pick it up. So you know what you do? You make a game about finding road trash, and you see who can find the best shit.
who can
And
find the coolest road trash?
Dude, I found a whole fucking cargo box that I put on top of my Trailblazer for a while, because that's just what the fuck happens.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a fucking miserable job. It is a miserable existence. There were some dudes though that they had a sick, like, I don't know, almost like masochistic addiction to it. They were like, yeah, this is what I need. Like there was a dude who worked fucking 40 years like in the forest before he came to the state, and like had a dope fucking career and all these awesome stories. And then he came to the state because he needed insurance, and now he's just doing this shit. And he's like, I have never, ever in my life ever not worked as hard. All we do is sit.
Right.
This was like my introduction to the state. This was my lead tech. He was like, we don't do things. I was like, what do you mean we don't do things? He was like, there's a lot of time where you're just making up shit to do. I was like, huh? He was like
get paid to
he was
use
like,
your
if
imagination.
you're standing around, just like find something to clean.